Have you ever set a goal, felt excited about it, maybe even made a plan only to end up getting in your own way? Maybe you procrastinated until the deadline passed. Maybe you picked a fight with someone who was trying to help you. Or maybe you quit just before things started getting serious. That's self-sabotage. And the frustrating part is, deep down, you probably knew what you were doing, but you couldn't stop yourself. The truth is, self-sabotage isn't about being lazy or careless. It's not that you don't want success. It's that a part of your mind is quietly working against your own goals. Psychology shows us that self-sabotage happens when your conscious desires, what you say you want, clash with your subconscious fears and beliefs. Consciously, you might want success, love, or stability. But unconsciously, you might believe you don't deserve those things. Maybe you fear that if you succeed, people will expect more from you. Maybe you fear that if you open up to love, you'll eventually be rejected. So instead of taking the risk, your brain convinces you to play it safe by getting in your own way. The irony is that this safety creates the very pain you were trying to avoid. Fear of failure is one of the biggest culprits. You don't give something your all, you can always say, well, I didn't really try. That way failure feels less personal. The same goes for fear of success. Sometimes the idea of winning is just as scary as losing. What if success brings more responsibility, more pressure, or more eyes watching you? In those moments, sabotaging yourself early feels safer than climbing high only to fall later. Then there's low self-worth. If you carry the belief that you're not worthy of happiness or achievement, you might unconsciously push good things away. Think about someone who believes they don't deserve a healthy relationship. They might pick fights, pull away, or even choose partners who treat them badly. On the surface, it looks irrational. But at a subconscious level, it matches their self-image. It's as if their actions are saying, see, I told you I wasn't worthy. Perfectionism and imposter syndrome also fuel sabotage. Perfectionists set standards so high they can never meet them. When they inevitably fall short, they take it as proof they should quit. Those with imposter syndrome live in constant fear of being found out. They avoid opportunities because deep down they believe they're not good enough. In both cases, sabotaging progress feels safer than risking exposure. And then there are the thought traps, what psychologists call cognitive distortions. All or nothing thinking convinces you that if you can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. Catastrophizing turns small mistakes into disasters, like believing one missed deadline means your career is over. Confirmation bias makes you pay more attention to evidence that supports your negative beliefs, ignoring the wins along the way. These distortions keep you stuck in patterns where sabotaging yourself feels inevitable. Self-sabotage shows up in many forms. Sometimes it's procrastination, delaying until it's too late. Sometimes it's avoidance, dodging conversations, opportunities, or challenges. Sometimes it's destructive habits, like overspending, substance abuse, or showing up late again and again. Even overthinking can be sabotage because it keeps you spinning in thought instead of moving into action. But why does the brain do this? In a way, self-sabotage is a defense mechanism. Humans are wired to avoid pain and seek safety. Your brain thinks it's protecting you from the dangers of failure, rejection, or change. But the strategy backfires because in trying to keep you safe, it actually keeps you stuck. So how do we break free? The first step is awareness. Notice your patterns. Ask yourself, when do I usually get in my own way? Is it before deadlines, in relationships, or right after I make progress? Recognizing the trigger is the beginning of change. The second step is reframing failure. Instead of seeing mistakes as proof that you're inadequate, start seeing them as information. Failure is feedback, not identity. The same goes for success. Don't frame it as a crushing weight of expectation. Think of it as growth, as evidence that you're capable of more than you believed. Journaling can help bring subconscious beliefs into the open. Therapy or coaching can provide support for challenging deep patterns. Mindfulness helps you catch sabotaging impulses in the moment so you can choose differently. Accountability, telling someone your goals or setting external deadlines, adds structure when your inner voice tries to derail you. But above all, the most powerful antidote to self-sabotage is self-compassion. Harsh self-criticism only fuels the cycle. convincing you that you were right to hold yourself back. Compassion does the opposite. It creates the sense of safety your brain has been looking for. When you remind yourself, it's okay to make mistakes, I'm still worthy, you weaken the fear that drives sabotage. Over time, this kindness builds resilience. In the end, self-sabotage isn't about being your own worst enemy. It's about misunderstood self-protection. Your brain is trying to protect you from disappointment, rejection, or change, even if it hurts you in the process. By understanding the psychology behind it, you can start aligning your conscious goals with your subconscious patterns. Here's the truth. Self-sabotage may never fully disappear, but it doesn't have to define you. Each time you notice it, challenge it, and act differently, you rewrite the script. You teach yourself that you are worthy of success, love, and growth. That's the real victory, not perfection, but progress. So the next time you catch yourself getting in your own way, pause and ask, am I protecting myself, or am I just keeping myself small? That single question might be enough to shift you from sabotage to growth. And when that shift happens, you stop being your own enemy and start becoming your own ally.